What's up, everyone? I'm Jacob, here with the first week of games for the Littleroot Lessons Team Draft League. Very excited to be a part of this league. Thank you, first and foremost, to Carter and Carl, the, founders of Littleroot Lessons. Go check out that podcast, YouTube channel. A lot of great content there, and the Discord is super, super cool. The draft league that we're in is really exciting. It is, I think, 8 teams. Each team has somewhere, or it's 10 teams rather. It's 10 teams. Each team has somewhere, 15 to 16 players. 9 play each week and get randomly matched up. So it's a player draft league more than a Pokemon draft league, which is really cool because I get to meet a lot of really cool players. The team that I'm on is kind of stacked. It's kind of busted, I'll be honest. Our front office is pretty loaded, which is great because it helps people like me who get very, very nervous about best of threes to figure some stuff out beforehand. And so, after going through the scouting report for my first week opponent, thinking about, what team I wanted to use, because you can use pretty much anything, I settled on this French Rain team. Pretty similar to Thomas Gravouille. His team that finished second in Liverpool. Of course, it's the same 6 Pokemon. I changed, a couple of things, some EV spreads to play around, like the Incineroar. Changed it to something I'm a little bit more comfortable with. Got, some better head calcs for. All that good stuff. So, super excited for the set. First week opponent is KamikazeKidGC. I don't know too much about them. I know they're pretty active in the Discord. So, it seems like it'll be a fun set, and I think they just messaged me. Yeah, okay, cool, they're ready. Rad. Okay, timing worked out perfectly. So, let's... let's link battle. Cool. So yeah, the big thing I know about Kamikaze Kid, they love Buzzwole. So, made sure I had at least a couple of Buzzwole answers on the team. Of course, if they get some defense boosts, Zacian isn't the greatest thing in the world, but, we do have the Kartana with some max air streams. We've got Kyogre just to hit it on the special side. This must be riveting right now. Just watching me type. Cool. So we got the team all set, just searching now. Cool. Okay, matched up with the right person. I didn't know their first name, so wanted to make sure. But cool, we should be ready. Very excited for this. Where is it? All the way over here. Everything looks good. Got the team ready last night, so I didn't have to go through any last-minute preps, but yeah. Just gonna hang out here for a little bit, make sure got the damage calc pulled up in case I need it in the middle of the game. Battle game, we'll go random for now. If we need to lock in, of course, Mustard is the go-to for locking in there, but, good luck, have fun. Kamikaze Kid, and so this is the team that I kind of expected from them. I don't want to give away too much, but I had definitely seen them use this team before. and so I kind of thought through this matchup a little bit. I'm interested to see what their lead is. I'm interested to see what they go with turn 1, game 1, turn 0, game 1. I'm just going to throw my phone on the floor. I don't need that right now. But I feel really good going into this lead with Cartonization. Just puts on a ton of offensive pressure. If they don't lead with Tailwind, I think that's a great start for us because we just have so much fast offense on this team. The Kyogre has Hyper Beam, so I've got a max strike if I need to. And then, of course, Shedinja as a Wing Con, because they really don't have that many Pokemon that can touch Shedinja. Thundurus and Incineroar, of course, supportive Thundurus is definitely going to be a thought for later on. Potential adjustment for game 2 or 3. And the Incineroar as well. The worry is, I want to make sure I get that positioning right because I don't want to give the Thundurus any Defiant boosts. But yeah, so I think... And they could have also done something completely different with this team. They could have... They could do anything with this team. They could have changed up any, some of the moves, some of the EV spreads. But we do see here from turn 1, not going to be Scarf Kyogre, which is great. And I know that both Cartonization can take one hit from their Thundurus. So the game plan here, because the end game here, game 1, is going to be Shedinja, I think. Their Kyogre has no way to hit Shedinja. Their Thundurus is a big threat. So I really like going for a max Overgrowth because it's our strongest move, and just doubling up into the Thundurus turn 1. They withdraw Kyogre into Solgaleo. Okay. So don't want to risk any damage on the Kyogre, makes sense, and just Dynamax the Thundurus turn 1. Not Dynamaxing the Solgaleo, I think, is a good step for us, because this double up should get the KO. The Behemoth Blade, of course, is going to go first station, the fastest thing in the field. Thundurus will not be able to one-hit KO Kartana. We will be able to fire back with Max Overgrowth. And again, if it's the same team that I think they... I just want to double check the report on it, but if this is the team that I think it is, it's Life Orb Thundurus, and so that extra 5% that they take from Life Orb chip is going to be really important. And is going to make this KO a little bit easier to grab as we Behemoth Blade. Beautiful. Everything going off well so far. We know, of course, Kyogre in the back, Solgaleo. We have not seen the last, but that's great damage from Behemoth Blade there. They Airstream. Airstream's, gonna go into Cart. Makes sense, but it doesn't do half. They are going to get the speed boost on Solgaleo. So Solgaleo now is going to outspeed my team, but we do see Life Orb, and if we can get this KO with Max Overgrowth, I feel like we are in a great spot. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Okay, that is exactly the start to this game we were hoping for. It just eliminate Thundurus immediately, get that off the field. Yes, their Solgaleo now is the fastest thing in the field, but without any weakness policy boosts, they should not be able to KO anything, which is great. Because I used Solgaleo pretty recently on the channel too with that cat themed team. It's gonna be Thundurus or Tornadus. So yeah, again, I used Solgaleo pretty recently with that cat themed team, and it's very good if you get into the right circumstance. The tricky part for them now is that Solgaleo is going to outspeed their Torn because of that speed boost. So they aren't going to be able to activate their weakness policy. They're going to be able to activate their weakness policy before the Solgaleo attacks, which is huge. Again, we want to pave the way for... so I Steel Spike. We want to pave the way for Shedinja to win. Shedinja to win. Sorry, I mentioned I get a little bit nervous. As they Sunsteel Strike first. Okay. Looked like it was targeting Zacian. Yeah. Makes sense. The Sunsteel Strike from Solgaleo can hit Shedinja, which is another thing we do have to be wary of. But Torn is going to go down to Focus Sash, so we do need that confirmation. Grab some water. As they Brutal Swing to activate a Weakness Policy. Crit on Kartana doesn't really matter too much, as we get the defense boost here. And Airstream, I think, was probably the better play. I think Airstream probably was the move. Because now... I think Hulk opening the other screen, might as well use it. With Solgaleo, we do have the grassy terrain set up. Cool. So if I'm Dynamax +1 defense... Yeah. Perfect. I'm also +1 attack. So what I want to do is just max Overgrowth into the Solgaleo, because that's going to be my strongest attack there. And Zacian won't take another Sunsteel Strike. But if they strike Zacian, that's pretty fine for me. So I'm going to Sacred Sword. They could also protect Kyogre. I think they... No, they don't protect. Honestly, good play. At this point in the game, you just need damage. So they're going to Sunsteel Strike Zacian. That's going to get that KO. Crit did not matter. But the important thing is that we're going to get some big damage off here. They don't have any defense boosts. We're in grassy terrain for a +1. Kartana just hits like a freight train. That's insane. And then the Water Spout comes out. Kart's going to live that. Beautiful. So now this puts them in a very difficult spot. Because... Check, that should be range for a Shadow Sneak. That should be range for a Shadow Sneak from Shedinja. It does a little over a quarter minimum. It does 26 to 32. And we do have the important thing here too is that we do have the Focus Sash. So even if one Shadow Sneak doesn't get the KO, 2 of them will. And we're guaranteed to get 2 off. They protect... Kyogre protects. That's fine too. They're just trying to get a little bit of grassy terrain recovery here. I get that. Could also be trying to play the timer. So what I want to do here is actually... Because they're not going to be able to recover enough from grassy terrain to live 2 Shadow Sneaks. I'm going to go ahead into Kyogre. Because I really don't need it at this point in the game. And just Shadow Sneak into Soul. From this range, I think it's a roll to KO the Solgaleo with the Shadow Sneak. Of course, Shedinja, the optimal set. We are max attack, max speed, lonely, with 0 defense and 0 special defense, and we do knock out the Solgaleo. Beautiful. So that just leaves the Kyogre, and they're going to Water Spout, but this Kyogre doesn't have any moves to hit Shedinja. So we get the game 1 here. Yeah, I mean, their Kyogre is going to be slower than our Kartana. We do see our Kyogre is also faster, which is nice. Oh, no, their Kyogre is at full health, so they don't need to recover anything from grassy terrain. I was going to say, because we recover grassy terrain first. But our Kyogre is, I believe, faster. Again, if this is the same team that I'm expecting, no reason to risk misses. Now we can Poltergeist once. I want to see damage. It doesn't really matter the damage that we get on their Kyogre with Poltergeist. Water Spout is so that we don't miss. And yeah, this is very well won too because we also have Kartana in the back. That outspeeds their Kyogre, Leaf Blade, ball game. So yeah, we do see their Kyogre does a little bit. we get the information too, their Mystic Water, you love that from Poltergeist as well. So we know all 4 of those Pokemon's items now. We know Life Orb on... I'm just going to Shadow Sneak now too, so I don't want to miss. We know Life Orb on Thundurus, we know Mystic Water Kyogre, we know Weakness Policy Solgaleo, and the Focus Sash on Tornadus. So great first game at, worked out exactly, play with the same rules, yep. Worked out exactly as I hoped it would. That was 100% the game plan. So, now we go into Game 2. And Game 2 is... I don't want to say Game 2 is my Achilles heel, but I just never feel confident in Game 2. The local that I won, video on the channel as well, I won every single game when I played, all 6 of them throughout the course of that tournament, and I lost 5 of the 6 Game 2s. So, have to make sure I make the right adjustments here. I think they will prioritize Shedinja answers. I think they're going to prioritize Shedinja answers a ton, which means probably bringing the same 4. I think that makes the most sense. So what I want to do is I think I want to go Kartana Kyogre. I want to go Kartana Kyogre immediately. I think I want to go with the same 4, but I want to keep Zacian in the back. Do I? Because what would their change? I mean, their change would be just going, Torn Ogre, I think. So if I go Kartana Kyogre, I can get some big damage off immediately. Again, I like Thundurus, but we'll save that for a potential 3rd game. We'll see how the 2nd game goes, because that's the one thing about this team is I do have to be a little bit careful since they have Tailwind and I don't. That is one of the big that's one of the big ways that they can really shift focus in the series. So they go Torn Solgaleo, and that's fine with me. Yeah, I think that's fine. The Solgaleo, if it Dynamaxes, has no way to hit Shedinja. But I do want to deal with it. So what we're going to do is... No, I don't want to go hard Shedinja, because they could always just Hurricane into the Kartana. I think this is definitely a max Kyogre game. I'm going to keep Card around. I am going to go hard Shedinja turn 1. And max Kyogre, yeah, stronger Max Geyser, right into the Solgaleo. Just get some big damage down on it. This will also tell us, because the one thing I don't know about this team is the speed on that Solgaleo. I don't know if it is Adamant or Jolly. So we're going to find out here that you do see the max first, so they're going to be Jolly. They outspeed my Kyogre. But this is great. Not necessarily great, but this is fine, because they have no way to hit Shedinja when they're Dynamax with Solgaleo. Of course, they do have the Hurricanes from Torn. As they just protect. That works for me too. And what are they going to go with the Solgaleo? It's going to be a Max Quake. It goes into Kyogre. Crucially, in the game 1-2, we did not reveal the ally switch on Shedinja, which forces a lot of mind games. So let's see how much damage this does. I would think even with the special defense boost, we do a lot. We are not max special attack Kyogre. May still be a 2-hit KO. Comes a little bit short. Comes up a little bit short. But I don't want to activate their weakness policy for them. That's the last thing I want to do. So we're going to click Ally Switch here. Because it forces them... Even they likely are considering that Shedinja has Ally Switch, but it forces them into an unfavorable trade where they have to use... they have to call the Shedinja slot correctly. So we'll see here. The Tornadus is going to go for Hurricane. But let's see which slot they choose. As the Solgaleo does protect... and it goes into the initial Shedinja, so they didn't read into the Ally Switch, but the confusion is not great. We don't hit ourselves, but it just goes in the max guard. That's fine. I am going just to max Geyser into Solgaleo again, because once Solgaleo is dealt with, actually, because I know that the Tornadus can't... They can't click Tailwind safely this turn. So I'm going to max Geyser the Torn and Shadow Sneak. Because they can't safely click Tailwind this turn because they have to keep attacking into the Shedinja. So as long as Kyogre doesn't hit itself in confusion, the critical hit helps out a little bit there. Just a Brutal Swing. That is a move I knew they had, and it makes a lot of sense. But again, we'll see if they read into the Ally Switch. As, we reveal the Focus Sash, hold on there, Max Quake goes into Kyogre. They did not read into the Ally Switch, but we live. Now let's see, we have to attack through Confusion, we have to do enough damage here into this +2 special defense Tornadus. As we do break through Confusion, Max Geyser, I would think it still KOs from this range. That's a really strong attack, and yeah, it does. So, good news and bad news. The good news is, of course, we have stalled out their Dynamax, and that's always the most dangerous part of a Solgaleo, is it being Dynamaxed. So we stalled out the Solgaleo's Dynamax. We are now in a position where they are denied Tailwind. The Kartana has Aerial Ace for the Buzzwole. Again, if this is the team I'm thinking, it's a bulk up Buzzwole. It's a little bit spooky. With Kyogre, I'm okay with one or both of them going down this turn. Yeah, if I lose both this turn, that's actually not that bad for me. Sorry, I was getting ahead of myself. I was doing Calc Shadow Sneak into Solg. Yeah. So again, forces them to think about the Ally Switch, as the Shadow Sneak is going to be 2 KO. They just Earthquake. So that means Shedinja's going to stay around, unless they change the Buzzwole's moveset. It also means they're going to do a little bit of damage to themselves, but they do guarantee the KO on Kyogre, and they do just bulk up. We see the leftovers as well. And now, the thing is that Buzzwole cannot hit Shedinja. Again, if this is the set that I am thinking it is. So, we just go Zacian. We can just go Zacian. The Buzzwole, I do want to scout for high horsepower, so we can just protect and endure this turn. Just play it passive here, scout what they're going to do, because I would think Solgaleo protects Buzzwole, clicks high horsepower into Zacian, goes for that KO. I don't know if it would. But it doesn't look like they're going to protect the Solg. They Earthquake. So it looks like they are just trying to knock out the Zacian. Okay. But they're just going to do some damage to their own Buzzwole. And they Drain Punch goes into Zacian. Makes sense. What I want to do now... So again, we see the leftovers on Buzzwole. My understanding is that if it goes down to timer, it's highest percentage of HP. So as long as we're at full with Shedinja, whenever we hit timer, we should be good, if that's the way things go. We Behemoth Blade into Soul this turn and Ally Switch. Because that also covers now for the Solgaleo protecting and Buzzwole clicking High Horsepower or Drain Punch into that slot. We Behemoth Blade, again, denied them Tailwind, so Zacian's going to be faster. And this is going to KO. Beautiful. Gets that KO. And what does Buzzwole do now? Buzzwole Drain Punches, but it goes right into Shedinja. Perfect. Okay. We're in a good spot. Yeah. I mean, we're in a good spot. The thing is that if it's Thunderous. Okay, so that was the adjustment that they made. Was Thunderous is the last. No Kyogre, makes a lot of sense. What we're going to do, though, is because the Thunderous can only hit us with Fly, we can Shadow Sneak here and Behemoth Blade. Because we don't want to risk any misses with Play Rough. So Shadow Sneak is going to get just a little bit of damage off. More than a little bit. Behemoth Blade comes out and may just pick up this KO. It's probably a roll. Yeah, they hang on with the Sliver. But they do just fly. But again, that's why you Tech Endure on Shedinja. They bulk up with Buzzwole. Fine. I do want to check just what does more to Buzzwole. At this point, if it's Play Rough or... Let's see, +2. Play Rough still does more, by a pretty good amount still. Okay, so Shedinja, Endure, Zacian, Protect. They have to click Fly onto the Shedinja slot this turn, but just for whatever reason, in case they read into my Endure and go for some crazy play, we do just protect Zacian just to be on the safe side. So Fly goes into Shedinja, don't have to worry about it. We Endure the hit, and that's an interaction I didn't know. The Life Orb damage still takes place. Yeah, Life Orb still matters. We do also still have the, what's it called? The Kartana in the back with Aerial Ace. So even if Zacian does go down, at this point, 3v1, we just go for damage here. Play Rough, still doing a pretty good chunk. High Horsepower, they read into the Ally Switch that turn. Yeah, I mean, there's really nothing they can do at this point because Buzzwole just doesn't have a move to hit Shedinja. This is part of the scouting in a draft league like this. I had seen them use this team. I looked at some Showdown replays. I had seen them post in the Discord with the paste of this team. Okay, yeah, it'll get redirect. Whatever. But I'd seen this team, so I knew Buzzwole does not have a Dark or Rock type move, so we should be set here. As the High Horsepower does come into Zacian, well, he lived with the Invisible Focus Sash too. Now, this is part of the nitty-gritty there too, where I did know that never KO'd. I had that knowledge that Buzzwole, with the spread that they posted in the Discord, I knew that never KO'd. I didn't know that they were going to knock me down to 1 HP. They just cancel there. GG's to Kamikaze Kid. A lot of fun in that set. Had a lot of fun. Got to really show off the Shedinja especially. As we can just cancel there. Big 2-0 win. At this point in the week, this is, Wednesday evening, the 17th of August. At this point now, my team, we are the Chicago Double Darms, having a lot of fun on that team. But we are now 3-0, as long as I didn't miss any messages in the Discord. But 3-0 on the week. Great start. Again, had a lot of fun with that set. Thank you so much, Kamikaze Kid, for, you know, scheduling that with me. Playing. It was a super good set. Hope to see you around a little bit more. And yeah, that's going to be everything. I don't know if I can share the pace for this team. You know, I don't know how public it is. And again, I made some of my own changes too. But, you know, I French Rain archetype that popped up, you know, pretty early on, I think, in Sword and Shield, and just kind of got refined as the season went along, tournament season went along. And you can definitely see the power of it now. Not just into this team where I had a lot of the knowledge prior, but into a lot of different matchups. You know, you have a lot of different win conditions. It's one of the things I really like about this team. Of course, Shedinja right there is one of the best win conditions in Pokemon because it has so few moves that can actually hit it in the current format. Kartana is insane. This thing is, you know, not quite as fast as the Genies. That's the one kind of downside of it, is that it hits 177 speed, where, you know, Thundurus and Tornadus at their max speed hit 179, but still hits like a truck, even with very little attack investment. When you Dynamax, of course, you get double your HP, so Kartana can actually live a hit, and just steamroll from there with max Airstreams, Overgrowth. You know, really pairs well with the Kyogre, who's another Dynamax option on this team. You know, we got to see that in Game 2, where Kyogre in Dynamax just hits so hard. Of course, you have to acknowledge we got a little bit fortunate. We hit through Confusion twice. I think it was 2 turns. Yeah, it was 2 turns, and one of them didn't matter because it was going into Protect anyway. But at least, you know, we didn't take that chip damage, and then who knows if they got a little bit of a higher roll on the Max Quake next turn with Solgaleo, could have, you know, done what. Of course, Zacian, you know what Zacian does. Didn't get to see either of these Pokemon this set, but the Thundurus is so good. You know, again, supportive Thundurus, Eerie Impulse, just deals with everything super well. The Incineroar, on the physical side, pretty much the same thing. Played around, you know, thought about a Safety Goggles Shedinja, a Focus Sash on Incineroar. There's one of the suggestions from Spactutitan, who was, you know, big help in my prep for this week, so shout out them. Thank you so much for, alongside Navier, bringing the French Rain team to my attention. You know, saying, hey, it's a pretty good matchup this week, and, you know, team's not too difficult to learn. And I think I showed it where, shoot, if I can pick up this team and play it well within a week, I think anybody can. But yeah, so not only got the win, but was able to break the Game 2 curse that I've had, just kind of hanging over me too. There's one of the things back in Secaucus too, where I think I played out of the 8 rounds of Swiss, I think only 3 of my rounds didn't go to 3 games, and 2 of them were because I lost 2 of. So, you know, it's one of those things that I, you know, just got to get better at playing more. You know, best of 3s, more sets like that. Unfortunately, you know, earlier today, Pokemon Company came out, mentioned or made this statement that we weren't going to get any more VGC events until January, so no big tournaments for that. Definitely a bummer. Hopefully, though, been, you know, listening on some conversations, talking to a lot of people in the area around me, and so there is definitely a big want and a big, you know, opening for a lot of local events in the area. So, you know, hopefully I can get out to some of those, get a little bit more practice before tournaments come back for real, before regional tournaments and things like that come back. But yeah, I think I rambled enough here at the end of this video. Get to see, you know, the box here a little bit. Of course, Sandshrew, gotta bring it. The Sandslash, the shiny Beast Ball Sandslash I'm really proud of. Shiny Clavapus as well. This spookily Pumpkaboo was one that I found on the first Nuzlocke I played in Sword and Shield, just a random shiny. Fell in love with it there. Zorua, while I was breeding for the Zorua that I ended up using in a couple of videos ago, got this shiny. Then, of course, Gamper, just a cute little guy, is lovely. But yeah, just a little bit of insight into the boxes here on the Lintymon channel. But yeah, again, GG's to Kamikaze Kid, had a ton of fun with this set. Really looking forward to the rest of the season. I think it's going to be 10 weeks, or 9 weeks. I think 9 weeks. sounds right, for the Littleroot Lessons Draft League, but really looking forward. Not going to play every single week because, again, only 9 players play out of the 16-person roster, but guaranteed to play at least, I think, 3 or 5, and then hopefully, as many as I can. But had a ton of fun with it this week. Thank you so much for watching the end of the video. I'll see you next time.